Hey guys, I had a viewer ask me to do a video where I am out ice fishing, but I'm not using any electronics. So no flasher, no fish finder. I definitely rely on those things really heavily when I'm out ice fishing because it helps me locate fish, lets me know how deep I'm fishing, lets me see fish respond to my gear. So it really gives me an advantage. So what happens when I take that advantage away? What strategies would I use? And I wanted to kind of go over that today. And today I'm going to talk about ice fishing without electronics for rainbow trout, because depending on the species that I'm pursuing, I'm going to use different tactics. This is my home lake, so I'm kind of familiar with how the bottom structure is, but if I wasn't familiar with that, I might do some research online. I might look at Google Maps, see weed beds, look for points that extend out underwater. But if I didn't do that, I can still use the landscape around me to let me know exactly what kind of structure I'm fishing. So for example, behind me, there's more of a gentle slope that comes out. It comes down steep, but then it levels out right along the lakeside there. And then I know from Google Maps that there's a weed bed that extends out here quite a ways. So fishing the edges of those weed beds and steep drop-offs is pretty good for rainbow trout. And then I can also see out here there's a point that sticks out, and there's pretty good odds that if there's a point, that point continues out underwater, and then that might also be a good place to fish. The problem though is rainbow trout aren't as deeply tied to structure like other fish like crappie and bluegill and things like that. So you never really know. A lot of rainbow trout will spend their time feeding over pelagic waters. And what I mean by pelagic is they're out over open deep water, feeding in the top 10 to 20 foot of the water column. In general, when I'm ice fishing rainbows, I don't tend to fish very deep. Not saying that you can't catch them at 30 and 40 and 50 feet deep, but in general, I do better in that upper portion of the water column. So first thing I'm going to do is just drill a series of holes, since I'm not sure where the fish are going to be feeding. So I'm going to just drill a line of holes today, starting from near the bank behind me and then out towards the middle of the lake. And when I don't have a fish finder, I just need to keep moving until I locate those fish. So let's get started drilling some holes first. So the first thing you want to do is you want to figure out how deep of water you're fishing in, since you don't really have any idea. And what I'll do is I'll just use my tungsten jig. I'll do 12-inch pulls until I get an estimate of how deep it is and hit the bottom. So that's a very easy way to do that. So about 39 pulls down there, so 39 feet. Most of the time I'm not going to fish at that depth for rainbow trout, so I'm probably just going to work the upper 20 foot of the water column. But if you can, and it's legal to do so, you should definitely run a second rod. If you have an automatic hook setter, that's even better, because then you can space yourself out a little more. But if you don't, you can just have a dead stick running next to you and leave it, say, at 10 feet like I've got this one. That just lets me know that if I get any bites there, then I know the fish are moving in that 10-ish foot zone. It's just always good to increase your odds when you're fishing blind without a fish finder. And a lot of times the jigging action of your active rod can sometimes draw activity in on your dead stick rod. The ice is very noisy. It's 9 inches thick, about half white ice, half black ice, but it is supposed to hit near 50 today, and it's very, very noisy right now, cracking and singing. So I'm going to bring this up about halfway, and then I'm just going to start doing, I'll do a rapid jigging, then short jigging. A lot of times this is when they're going to strike, especially if they're rainbow trout. If perch, if I'm fishing for perch or panfish, I end up actually holding it still after jigging and see if I can detect that softer bite. The rainbow trout tend to hit a little bit more aggressively. Most trout do, actually, including brook trout, tiger trout, lake trout. So I'll spend 30 seconds jigging in one zone, changing it up, going from a light jig to a heavier jig to attract the fish, back to a light jig, and then I'll do a couple cranks. I'm just going to work it up and down through that water column until I can get a bite. Now you can work in any direction. You can work from the top down, so if you want to bring it up, go down 5 feet, start there, and then go down another 5 feet. It's up to you, or you can just drop straight down to 20 and work your way up, or you can go all the way to the bottom, just really what your preference is. Like I said, in general, I tend to find more rainbow trout shallower, and I think fishing near the bottom, and especially deep water like I'm in right now, it lends you an advantage to fish shallower, because fish can look up and see a target, but they are less likely to look down. So if you're fishing in that 10 to 20, even fish that are feeding down there in 30, 40 might be able to still look up and see your jig and move towards it. Maybe that was a bite. Missed it though. I got my other one down there, so let's see if we can get his attention. There he is again. Nope. Dang it. There we go. Got him. Sometimes having that rod down there makes a difference. Having the bonus rod. Nice. Cool. First rainbow of the day. That's a pretty one too. On that blob fly, they do love those blob flies. I can't run bait on this lake, but that blob fly is pretty much as close as you can get to bait. They really like those things. I actually got them right on the chin there. Pretty little rainbow. Send him back. Right, there you go. See you. Oh, hey, turn around. There you go. There we go, fish. You got him. Just got to keep it active. Oop, oop, oop. It's a decent fish. Nice. There we go. Got one on the jig. Calm down there, baby. Calm down. Nice. There we go. Got one on the jig. Just keeping it active, working it up and down through that water column. Can't film anywhere in Okanagan County without gunfire in the background. Redneck County. There you go, got him. That's nice. Now we're really starting to get into them. I had to go get a new plastic. And in the meantime, the blob picked up another fish. Oh yeah. Oh, that's got really beautiful colors on that rainbow. I'm getting caught up in there. Wow, look at the colors on that. That's gorgeous. Now he's got that kind of deep down in his throat there because of my delayed reaction on that. That's the danger of a dead stick rod. He's got that fly deep down in there, but I've got this pick from Cold Snap because that's a barbless hook. I should be able to just reach down in there, push right along the gum line there, and hopefully free it without tearing his gills at all. There we go. Look at that, no blood. It's perfect. That's a cool little pick there for removing these barbless hooks. Really pretty fish. Alright, let's get this guy back. See ya. Oh, I missed that. What was I thinking? Oh, he's there now. Look at that, I had a bite on both ones at the same time. That was crazy. Probably not going to get either. 2 foot distracted. That's crazy. That was nuts. I mean, identical bite times right there. There we go. Got him. Nice. Ooh, this feels like a good fish. I think I'm wrapped up in it now. That's okay. That's the trouble with fishing one so close to the other, but you need to be able to do the hook sets. Oh, it's a nice fish. Yes. Beauty. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Yeah. We know. Let's get you out of that one there. There you go. Pretty little fish. Got him by the tongue there, a little bit of blood. Should be alright. Nice. Alright, get that blood off there, get you going. See you, bud. That is the advantage of having a second rod though. Not only does it increase your odds, but it also lets you cover a couple different depths at the same time, which is nice. Alright. Also, you can run different colors or different profile lures, which is nice, because then you can see if the fish are keying in on something particular that day. I've been getting a split bite. You know, I'm running this orange and chartreuse blob fly, and here I'm running a little HT jig with some plastics on it, unscented, in pink and red, and it's also catching fish. So they don't seem to have a strong preference today. I was running a pink blob fly earlier on there and wasn't getting anything, and I switched over to that chartreuse and orange and started picking up more fish. So you never know. It's always good to be cycling through different gear until you find what they're looking for. Oh, I missed him, dang it. That's too bad. Sometimes they'll come back for it. There you go. Got him. This feels like a good fish. That's why it pays to have 2 rods. Sometimes when you catch one fish, it attracts the attention of another. And love them blob flies. It's a barbless lake, so it's pretty easy just to remove the hook. Grab it, comes out. Get him back in the water. Almost didn't want to go. Gosh, it's a red hot bite right now. If I wasn't getting bites, I would be moving every 15 to 30 minutes, but I've only been here a couple hours and I just keep getting fish after fish. That's a nice fish right there. Woo. Thanks. Come here. These are healthy looking fish. That's very healthy looking. Awesome. You're going the wrong way. There he goes. There we go. Got him. Slowly bringing it up. Oh, he's swimming up with me. Keep the pressure on him. Nice, hung up there. Ooh, that's a big fish. He just decided he didn't want to come through that hole all of a sudden. Wow. Nice fish. Just not ready to come back here yet. There we go. Beauty. Look at that. That is a drop dead gorgeous rainbow. Look at that thing. Perfect. Well, I think that's a great way to end the day. It goes to show you don't need electronics to go out and have a great day on the ice. I've only been out here a couple hours and I've got 7, 8 fish easy and have missed several more. So just apply those tips that I gave you today about working over a lot of the water column. Run a second rod if you can. If you can run bait, you can do that. It's even better. And yeah, don't be afraid to pick up and move. And don't be afraid to get out on the ice and chase some rainbow trout or brook trout, wherever you're after, even if you don't have any electronics. See you guys next time.